Good evening to you. I'll be jumping on here. Well, I'm actually on, but I'll be beginning here in a second. Just scribbling a little bit, give some folks a chance to catch up. It's Wednesday evening, and I normally don't do a live show on Wednesdays, but it's before Christmas, so what the heck? You can do whatever we want to do, right? Good to have you here. Good evening, Karen and June Jones and Dawn. Dawn, thank you for being on the show this morning. Denise Albright, Amy Roach, Julie Lovin, and I'm keeping up with my my auction here. So I told you I'd announce the name of that. I got to check it on my phone, so it's opening up right here, so you can see it as soon as I open it up. Boom and boom and boom, and 3 clicks and a scroll up, and we're at. Newest is Julie Lovin, and you're on the show, I believe. Holy smokes, Julie, you are the winner of the auction. And here it is right here. This is the this is the painting. Measured it out 7.5 by 7.5. Pretty sure I smell biscuits. There it is right there. See how bright it is in color. You're gonna love it. Don't worry about this. This gets covered up by this is just a That's what you put on there when you have stuff like that. So anyway, so Julie, if you'll send me an email, I can turn this music down a little bit. It is Christmas song, though. It's kind of nice. It's if you'll send me an email at rudoodles@gmail.com, Julie, rudoodles@gmail.com. I will send you the information, whether it's PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, Carrier Pigeon, cash, check, however you want to pay for this. Thank you so much, and that's going to be a fun one too. And I am making biscuits a lot this Christmas, so kids are coming home in a few days. Some live close by, some do not, and they'll be coming in here, and so that's going to be fun for them to come in and see. So thank you for being a part of that. Love to just pass a few paintings on at a great price. Love it when the auctions all start at $8.57, and that's going to be true. In most cases, except for one auction that I'm going to tell you about tonight that's going to start a little different than $8.57. Yep, just going to start just a little different than that. I thought I'd get dressed up for tonight's event, so there it is. So Julie, Merry Christmas to you, and you are the owner of this. So hey, Lori Stanley Handelmeyer Henderson, thanks for being on the show. Lori Stanley Henderson. I said it correctly just because it's Christmas, but that Handelmeyer has to come in there. It's kind of fun. I'll email you shortly. And yeah, don't worry about emailing me, but or you can just email me and say, hey, I do PayPal, I do Venmo, I do whatever. We'll do a little business on this show here. So I'm going to paint a couple paintings, just one for you because I have to. It's Christmas. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give away a couple small paintings tonight. I've been carrying this around all week. This is a little drawing pad. I keep these things. I buy them several times. Hey, Chip Furr. I love the spontaneous broadcast. You know me, man. If I'm not spontaneous, I'm something. Hey, and I'm not drinking coffee tonight, brother. I'm having a little hot chocolate. Yeah, little hot cocoa. Doesn't that sound good to a coffee maker? But anyway, I hope you're feeling better, brother. Talk to you soon. And I've got to show you a picture. I got to show you a small film that I made a couple years ago. I started shooting a new one this year, and I thought, wow, I like my old one so much better with the little hands of my grandchildren. They've grown a little bit. But I got to tell you something that happened at dinner. So I have a little outline here. And I've got to be still my heart, she said, Lori Stanley Henderson. Linda Schleitney, thanks for being on the show. And Lana Dunaway, Philip Wilbarger, Merry Christmas to one and to all. Bridget, just popping in to say Merry Christmas. Thank you all for doing that. And Carrie Marie Joby Goins, love your art, she says. Thank you so much. And here's a name that I don't say very often. Lissa Kowalski Palio. Hi, I finally caught it live. So there's why I don't see it. So forgive me for mispronouncing your last name, but that's just the way it is. Kathy Shanley, thanks for being on the show. Mike Wallace, shortest day. This was the shortest day in the world today. It was just short. It was winter solstice, whatever that means. That sounds like something you eat. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to paint something, not this little penguin. I have been doing these little penguins, though. I did this one for Carol. She likes penguins. See this? Just these quick little doodles with a fountain pen. Just literally, and this is a Metropolitan Pentel. You know this one as the Kakuno. This is a fine point. This is a medium point. It's made by. Did I say Pentel? I'm sorry. It's Pilot. Pilot Kakuno. This is a Pilot Metropolitan. Think of the museum, and it's a bold, more of a bold point. It's kind of fun if you're doing. I just did a. Where is he? I just did a bumblebee with it. See this right here? I just did this bumblebee with this pen and a little bit of yellow watercolor. I did this on 140 water. I started one on the back, and I just flipped it over and folded it like this. And I did this while I was sitting here. It's B number 800. There he is right there. That's B number 800. And I don't know what he's going to say yet. So before the night's over, he'll say something and I'll write his caption on there. But this is kind of fun to take this big pen and just sort of scribble into this like this and let it dry in. And I can come back and scratch a little bit. This is not called hair on a B. It's called pile. And so that's what comes in. All right. Well, let's kick off it here. For some of you have to run away. So if you've got something else going on tonight, we're not looking forward to the big blizzard coming. We have our chicken coop ready for single digits. Yeah, it's supposed to be 13 here on Saturday, and for it to get 13 in 13 in Charlotte, it means that somebody forgot to put the wood on the fire somewhere. All right, so here we go. Just because there's a few people on the show tonight, I'm going to make this fun. I'm going to give away a small little painting. And here it is right here. It's to those of you who persevere, who push, who come forward, who stay on this show all the time, who support me emotionally, encouragement. Some of you are on Patreon, some are not. The point is you just continue to show up and you're about art and you're thinking like an artist. I'm going to give away, this is on drawing paper, so I don't want you, it frames well. It's 80-pound drawing paper, and it does frame really well and it holds the color extremely well also. But I'm going to give this away. It says, hey, stay behind the mule. And those of you who paint with me know what that means. And so here's what I'm going to do. I just literally will scroll up and down on here and I click the screen. And when I click the screen, I'll see 3 names. And I take the top one out, the bottom one out, and the middle name I choose. And somebody's going to get this. I'm going to write your name on the back, and then you're going to send me an email. And I'm just going to give that away. So tonight I'm going to give away a couple paintings. I'm going to, this one just sold to Julie Lovin. That was on today's auction. I'm going to put it over here in a safe spot down there on my vest. I took my vest off by the power in my vest. And then I got to tell you about some nativity figures dinner last night. And I got to tell you about something that I've just finished painting. I'm not doing any more Christmas paintings, except there's one that I finished on. And believe it or not, it's a rolling pin. And so I'm going to put it up for auction, maybe not tonight, but maybe in the next few days, I'm going to put it out there and just let some folks take a look at it. I'm going to show it to you tonight here in just a little bit. So here's the drawing right here. Here's all I do. I look over there and I scroll this up and down. And so as people come in, there's only a few of you on the page tonight that I can see your names. And so, love the penguins. Thank you very much. Yes, Carol likes penguins. There's something about penguins that they're just too cool. They always look like they're always dressed up somewhere and nowhere to go except out on the iceberg. That's kind of how I feel. And I'm going to tell you, I got to write this note down right here. If I forget, somebody remind me. Christmas parties. Let me tell you about how to how to not get invited to any more Christmas parties. Okay, so somebody remind me of that if I forget. All right, I think it'll pop back up. So here we go. Thank you, Dawn. I'm glad you love those penguins. Here we go. Back and forth, back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not looking. I'm scrolling up, down. I'm spinning it. It's just rocking. I take my fingers and hit the little trackpad on my computer, and I pull in, and I pull it out like this, and it goes to, here it is, Pat Lightbody. You're at the top. That's out. Dawn. Oh, Dawn, you almost got it. You're at the bottom. And here's a person. And you can't make this stuff up. You saw what I just did. I turned around. The third name is Carol. And look on you can probably see this, the deals where I'm looking at. Carol Marie Joby Goins. You just won this little rooster. Carol Marie Joby. Is it Hobie Joby Goins, Goins? you just won this little painting right here. Okay, it says "Stay Behind the Mule." Here, I'll give you just a quick little close focus. There it is, right there. It's painted on 80-pound drawing paper, which looks like this. I carry these around in my pocket just to do quick sketches on. Here's one that I've been working on. I thought what it would be like if these two guys got a pen and they were trying to write some pretty encouraging stuff here, like a new Christmas song. Here it is right here. It's like this. Home is where the heart, nah. Home is a place of, nah. Home is laughter, no. Home is love, no. Home is forever. Home is a kind, no. Home is sharing your, nope. Home is, and then it says, hey, home is where we live. Ooh, that's good. That's real good. As I get older, I launch into this simpleness that goes in the trash, but it gives you an idea of what I paint on this that comes out funny. All right, so let's see. Let me go back to where my scroll is if I can find it. Oh my gosh, I moved my screen. Carol Marie Joby Goins, if you would send me an email at rudoodles@gmail.com. Rudoodles@gmail.com. Would you send me that, please? And if you would, send me an email with your address. Just send me an email and say, hey, I won this Stay Behind the Mule on the show with your address. And I'm going to write your name on here with a pencil. Carol Marie Joby Goins, Goins, gift. Okay. And it's 12/21, shortest painting of the year. And I got some clean water up here to paint with, but I'm going to paint something else. Let's get rid of this penguin here, get him out of here. This is just a little leaf pair between this. So I'm going to paint a rooster, and then we're off and running. Then I'm going to start telling you about some stuff that we're going to talk about tonight. But I always have to paint. Come on, you got to do something here. So I've got some people watching me paint tonight. So here they are. Let me widen this screen out a little bit so you can see it. Take a look. There's a little shepherd. There's a burro. There's a donkey right there. He's watching this. There's another little shepherd over here. I'll tell you about these guys in a minute and how they wound up on my desk tonight about Nativity's story. And look at this little sheep right here. Can you see this? Look at the size of this guy right here. Is that cool? These are polymer. These, of course, are carved out of wood in Italy, and then they're made into a polymer casting. These are Fontanini, if you want to look it up. We've collected some of these. Carol probably got another 10 or 15 pieces this year. We find them on eBay if they go on sale. We scrounge and find them here and there, and we keep adding to our nativity list, and then I'll show you more about that later as we go on. So that's kind of how this thing comes together. It's a Christmas show that I started doing just last year. Kathy Shantley says she has those. Fantastic. Watching while rocking. Oh, sorry about your rock sick baby, Stephen. Just keep rocking that baby. Elaine Barnett, thanks for being on the show. Yes, June, that penguin went down the bunny trail. Darn, down that bunny trail. He had to go. All right, so Carol, Philip Wilbarger, thanks for being on the show, man. Merry Christmas to you. Susie DeLay, Trina Seal, welcome. Jennifer Hintz, missed a few people. Randall Taylor Craven, thanks for being on this show. And okay, Lisa says the penguins are cute, but those roosters. So here goes a rooster. So I'm going to paint a rooster right here, and just a little. I'm going to paint him. This is on. Look at that. Oh, there's one I started on the back. So I'll just turn this paper over and paint him going this way. I'm going to paint this with a medium fountain pen. This is that Pilot pen I told you about. Sometimes working with a Pilot fountain pen on watercolor paper is a little funky. You got to kind of give it a little bit of time. If you just think you're going to be writing on great smooth drawing paper, it's just not going to work. So you're going to have to back off a little bit and make this happen. So here's what we're going to do. We'll put a little music on here, just something that I really like to listen to, and I've loved this piece recently. So a little piece of music, and then I'm just going to paint something here. Okay, and I'm going to make this rooster go looking to my right. I'm right-handed, so I always like to put the beak on the left-hand side. It's just how I paint. You'll find that natural ways that when you learn to do this, will go the way you want. I think what I'm going to do tonight is I'm just going to paint this big old beak coming out like this, put his eye in there, and I think this rooster is going to be kind of laid back like this. And he's going to be reaching out like this. I like it when he's reaching somewhere. And I might not like this one at all, actually, when I'm finished with this. No, going down here. Let this work. And I think I want to bring this foot in right here. I'm going to bring this foot out like he's running to unwrap Christmas presents. It's a nice piece of music. Now I'm going to go in here with this pen and I'm just going to bring some cross hatching in here like this. Remember, I'm still working with the fountain pen. I'm going to come in a little closer. Is that okay? Here we go. Oh yeah, look at that. A little focus here on this. All right, so I'm just scrubbing this in, but watch, I'm just going to cross hatch this a little bit, just like that. I'm going to go in here and do the same right up here. Lightly brushing this. It's a great sound. Hang on, listen. Can I stop this? Oh, it'll start all over. It's okay. Listen to this. This is cool. Listen. Sometimes when I'm up here in my office and I just let the pen do this, I don't know. Call me crazy, but man, it is so fun to make this work like this, okay? And so now I gotta go back to my music. And now I'm just gonna grab my palette here, which is just over here, and I'm gonna try to keep this guy in the middle so you can see sort of how I do the brush work on this. And I'm gonna grab a small bamboo brush, just a real thin, small brush. Here's one right here. Okay, there's a little one. Why bamboo brush? Because I just want to bring a lot of water over here. So this is a simple bamboo brush. This is goat hair. Those of you who are joining me this evening when you normally don't. And I'm just sort of rocking that water right in there on top of that pen. Remember, I haven't put any pigment, as in watercolor pigment, into this. This is just pen on white paper. And this is 140-pound Kilimanjaro paper, 100% rag cotton. My favorite paper to just paint on. I like the way that the colors pop on it. I like the rough surface. I like the undulations that are in there. I like the way it holds water, and it's really good at light, fast paper too. So I'm a fan. Needless to say, I'm thankful that the people that create this paper are friends now, and they were actually. I went and met them even when I started this paper years ago. And now they're really close friends. We've become good friends, and I go to Boone sometimes and see them. Was just up there, had lunch with Joe Miller, and just an awesome storyteller. Oh my gosh, and getting on up into his years, but aren't we all? Has started a lot of artists in the world and encouraging people. And we have a lot of things in common. One, our love for stories and our love to see people succeed and thinking like artists. The other is we love painting small paintings, because there's something about small paintings that really do have an easy place to find a home in a place in someone's home, a home in a home. So that just is really fun. Now, what I didn't do tonight is. And there's a reason for that. I've been pulling it out a little stiffer, but I'm going to go ahead and just pull this over. I'm just spraying a little water out of this missing bottle right here. It's almost out of focus because I'm way up close. I'm going to back off just a little. Now I'm going to leave it in there so you can see how this runs in. Okay, so watch this. I'm going to grab a little bit of gamboge down here. And when I put these brushes, because I'm not working in a flat palette, but I'm working in a panned palette, these are pans, I'm being careful how I punch my brush down in there. Have mercy on the ends of your brushes, especially if you're working with a fiber or a nylon brush like this. This is a beautiful number 6 brush. Don't just jam your brush in there. Lay your brush in and roll it in the paint if you can get it in there. Sometimes I paint in a flat butcher's tray. I'll put my colors in a butcher's tray, and I like to lay the brush down in them. But in this case, I just roll it down in there, pick up a little bit, bring it in. And now that pen, remember the pen is going to bleed, so I really wanted this sharp point so I could get in here and leave myself a little bit of white space underneath what I call holidays for those of you who have just joined me and been waiting to see how we do this. Okay, look, I grabbed a drop of water and I just dropped it in there. Now, I'm letting my brush reach up and touch the red with some of the yellow in it. So the mix is happening right on the paper and not necessarily in here. That's just a style thing. You don't have to paint that way. But I don't spend a lot of time mixing colors up and around over there. I just sort of say, let them do what they're supposed to do on the paper and let them surprise you. When that happens, it's really fun what happens. A lot of folks pile on tonight. I appreciate you being here. I don't know if that's the right word I should have used. Pile on sounds like you can get hurt. Love my Fontanini. Hi, Susan. Top of the evening. Jethro, appreciate you bidding on the auction. It got away from you. I have some Fontanini, and I'll tell you how I use the Fontanini. And thank you for the Merry Christmas, Laurie. I appreciate that very much. You get it, chicken scratch? Karen Piker, this red is what we call, it's a mixture here. I have some Joe's Red, and I have some Hot Mama Red, which was a song out of the 20s. If you go back and listen to big band swing, Hot Mama Red. Okay, Red Hot Mama. All right, so you see, I'm not going to go in there and fill that in. I'm just going to leave those white spots in there. This is, I think this is, I don't even remember what this is. Is this Copper Penny or is this may be Copper Penny? It may be, I don't think it's Kronika. No, I think this is Copper Penny. I'm not sure, but I like it. I wanted some brown on the bottom end of this roux, and I want a little bit of green right in here too. Why? Just kind of because I did. And then I want some of my favorite color. What's that? That's one of my favorites. It's not my favorite color, but watch what's happening right here when I drop this blue in on top of that water with the ink. Can you see it just fill up? Can you see it move? Let me turn this music down just a little bit here. My side anyway. Make sure you can hear what I'm talking about. Can you see this blue just sort of run down into that a little bit? And I'm going to come in here, and it allows me to do this in stages. See, I started the tail with just the ink, and then I backed off and went somewhere else, and then I came back. Paper's still moist. Remember, this rough paper, 140-pound rough paper, holds a lot of water, and so it's going to stay on the surface for a little while. And now this little tiny brush, and I could do this with a smaller brush. I could do it with a number 3 or a number 6 American Journey fiber brush. I just really love these little bamboo brushes that let me just kind of get in there and play. What's missing right now is a little bit of turquoise. I always drop a little piece of that right in there. Now here's a mistake that just happened, and some of you probably didn't see it, but I want to point it out. See it right here at the end of my brush? Look right there. See that? See that little spot of turquoise? I was bringing a wet brush over from the turquoise, and I was going to here with it, and in the process, a drop fell in right there. I'm not going to clean that up. No. Does that mean that, have you ever seen my hair all in place? No. Does a rooster's feathers all fit perfectly? No, there's twists and there's turns and there's colors. So don't worry about it too much. We sometimes want to make it so picture perfect that we just get tight and tense. So I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to let it happen on my watch. So that's not going to happen. But I do want to break the plane up here and pull some of this outside the box and this. And here's where that great little point really helps. If you don't have a little point like that on your brush, let me show you how you can get one. You can just use the handle of a brush. See here? Look at that. Just go in here, get a little water, and you can use the other end of the brush. Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't see that right here. Look, you can just use the other end of the brush and pull some pieces out with it like that. There's lots of ways to paint. We just think that we have to do it so school book. Don't let education get in the way of a good loose painting, okay? You heard it right here. There's no place like Nome. Hey, Fern. Hey, Chris Whitaker. Glad you're on the show. Bert Crone from Greenville. Martha Palmer. Glad to have you from Columbia, Missouri. Donna Bowman was fun to watch today. Crystal, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for being on tonight. I just got home from Walmart. Woohoo! Blood pressure was a little high. I love it. Okay, the reason it's high is you went to Walmart. That's why your blood pressure is high. Oh my gosh, you get in there and get into a toy fight with someone. Carol and I went out and had a little bite of dinner. hustled back here. Okay, here's the one place that I'm going to mix a little color for you. So watch this. I'm going to back off just a smidge so you can see this. Let me make sure it's focused pretty well right there. All right, look. I'm just going to go grab this number 6 brush, and I'm going to go get a little bit of gamboge, which is my yellow. I'm going to put it in this pan right here. And you hear that sound, that's me washing my brush out. I never put my brush into wet paints. I'm going to grab a little bit of just red here, just a touch right there. Wash my brush out again. I'm going to go in and just mix these two together. And you think, well, for heaven's sakes, you have orange. Yeah, but I wanted my own orange. I wanted some orange that's not as orange as orange. Okay? I'm not talking University of Tennessee, which I went to. I'm not talking, well, I went for a little while. Let's just don't pretend. And then I'm putting a little gray in there, and I'm letting that just sort of lay. Can you see that? There's a little bit of gray in there. I didn't over mix it. I'm not trying to mix my color up and make it look like everything's supposed to be Sunday school tight. Okay, I'm going to grab this, roll my brush in it just a little bit. I'm going to come in with this brush, and it needs a little more red and orange. Yep, didn't do enough. There we go. Come in like this, too much. Back to this. There we go. That's what I'm looking for right there. That's the color, knowing that I'm going to get some bleed from the pen. You know what I mean when I say bleed from the pen? I'm going to get that pen that's still going to give us a little bit of the black ink, the black line. The ink is going to still break free, and when the water hits it, and it's going to flow a little bit. It's going to move. It's going to, the word is, it's not a musical word. I forgot what the word is, but I'll think of it in a minute. Okay, here we go. All right, a little red, and then I'm going to just put a little red on here like this. I'm going to take this pencil, and I'm going to do a couple little red beauty marks here, just with a touch of this. Oh, yeah, look at that right there. Can you see that? Can you see what happened there? Let me show you the close body of this rooster. Let me get right in here real tight. I don't get to do this in the morning sometimes too much. So look, there it is right there. See those little splatters that just went right in there? And then now let's grab a Pentel pen right here and do some more of that chicken scratching, which artists call hatch marks. And then we'll cross hatching. And you know, it would be called hatching if you're a rooster painter, right? And so look at what I've done here. I'm just going to add a little more of this cross hatching under here, a little thicker. Why would I do that? And a little thicker right here. Why? And just a touch right there. Because when I put a little color into this, those are going to show up darker, and that's going to create the shadow that I'm looking for. You see what I did? All right, so I'm going to grab, I'll just grab this brush that I've been using here, this number 6. I pulled it out. So I'll just start wetting this and take a look. It's got a little bit of red left in it because my water's so dirty, I think. And then I'm going to come in here, and I'm being careful. Look, do you ever see me painting like this? Sometimes I do. Most of the time, I just kind of go like this with my brush to keep that loose stroke. It's something that those of you who want to say, ooh, I wish I could paint looser, just learn to hold your brush back a little bit and just give it a little bit of a flip. What if it runs out of the line like that? See that right there? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for when it just kind of misses the mark a little bit. And then we can come in with a pen and kind of come in here like this and just put some grass, and it could be black. Now, this ink here, I'm going to grab another pen. This is an 05. I need an 07. Is there an 07 up here somewhere? I'd like to have one if I could find one. Well, rabbit. Oh, there's one right there. Here's one. All right, there's an 07. So 07's, this is a Pentel Energel 07 needle tip. And I'm going to go in here and just put in some veining in the foot. And I'm going to do that over this. The paint is still a little damp, but I don't want these to be really concise lines. I want them to break a little bit too. And then I'm just doing some dots in the leg. Can you see that? All this is so abstract. It's unplanned. It just happens. There's a little spur right there, a little spur back here on this leg like this. Maybe even put some little feather marks down in here coming in like this. Oh man, look at that thing go. And then just cross that, put a little dark shadow in here like so. And I think he needs an eyelash. He's going uptown. All right. So basically what I've done now is that I've painted this rooster in a matter of what? 12 and a half minutes, something like that. Nice. Thank you, Chicken Feed News. Hatch marks. Oh, thank you, Linda. You got it. Ooh, have had that done. Hopefully in 24 hours it'll be much better. All right. Let's see. Go Roo. James Ward, thanks for being thanks for being on the show. Whoa. Chris, got a little injection in the wrist. No painting tonight, so sorry. All right. I hope you feel better. Getting to work's technical medical term. Here we go. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to take a little bit of that brush I had a moment ago right here. A little clean brush. This is the bamboo brush, and this is like a number 1 or a 0. And look, this has still got a little bit of touch to it. I'm just going to come in here and drag this wet brush through some of that just to let some of that color run over a little bit. I like it when the feathers tend to just break outside the lines. And then I'm going to come in. One color I haven't used it here is just a little bit of purple, and I'm going to add a touch of purple right there and under here. And it's really not purple, it's royal amethyst. So there you have it. Okay, all right. So there's my rooster for the evening. And for those of you who said, hey, I never see this guy paint roosters. He's always talking about it, and he's always painting these weird-looking shrimp and lobsters and all that. And is there an order to it? Probably a sketch. Water first, then color. So it's watercolor. Thought of that myself. There's white spaces. We call those holidays. Why? Because they shine through, and you don't have, and you really don't use. You can, but it's very rare that you use white paint in watercolor. Now, I will use a spot of white just to show you what you can do with it. If I didn't leave a spot, I can grab a little of this titanium white right here. You can see it right under me there, just right here. Just grab a little bit of it, and look, I'm just the southern word of this is wallowing. I'm wallowing my brush in this like so, and then I'm just going to come in here and just splatter some of that white right up in the comb and down here on this, and I'm going to put a little spot right there like that. And if that's too much, I'll touch it with my finger, and then I'm going to grab a little bit more, and I'm going to splatter one here. Now I'm going to do something that I hardly ever do, but I want you to see what it's going to do. Watch. I'm going to take a little bit, and I'm going to load it on this brush. I'm going to make sure it's got plenty of water in it. Plenty of water, loaded right here, and I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to drop it down and just let it go right in there like that. But watch what I do to it. I'm going to take the back part of this brush right here, and I'm just going to push some of it up into the feathers like that. Look. Can you see what I'm doing? Oh my gosh. You know what's wrong with that watercolor artist we watched last night? He doesn't use a brush. He uses a stick. Hey, watercolor is not for the elite, famous, rich brushes. You can paint with a stick. So the other end of the brush. Anyway, I love that so much when it just happens. And that is an awesome rooster. He's going to show up tomorrow morning on a little auction. I promise you, because he's going to be, and he's going to have, I don't know what he's going to say yet. I didn't have any idea when I started painting him. He's 5.5, and he's going to be 9 inches, 5.5 by 9. And right out here, I think I might paint a honeybee. I think it's time for a conversation with the honeybee. So I think that's what's going to happen. So I'm going to make myself a note here, B801, okay? So SB the B if he goes on there. All right, so let's do this. Let's give away another painting. Thank you for saying he's marvelous. I appreciate that so much. I just saw that comment, and I love it. Lisa loves him. Great rooster. Kathy Dietz, she just found me. No, Kathy, you've been on before. I've seen you. I'm just kidding. And you said he's marvelous. Glad you found the party. This Roo is strutting his stuff. Yeah, I think he's on a mission somewhere. So be happy. Don't worry. I need to ask for a stick for Christmas. Yeah, just get a stick for Christmas. Just go out and get a stick. And I've got one here. You know that, right? I keep a stick on my desk just for painting with sometimes. I think it's over. It's over there. I see it. All right. I had to stick it in another place because I ran out of place for brushes here. All right, so here we go. All right, here's the giveaway right here. So I'm going to slide down. Let me show you what I'm going to give away this time. Ready for this? It's It's going to be the first unofficial. Remember, I started early this year to try and get you as many Christmas paintings as I could, but so they could get to you before the Christmas day. And, or if you were giving them as gifts or framing them. And some of you, that's why I did so many auctions with 2 paintings and let a lot of paintings go. Here's the thing. When you get an original painting, I don't care who it's from. When you get an original painting for $10, $20, $30, an original painting to give away, and some of those went for some of that price, I think that's fantastic. What's it do for me? It helps me get in more houses, which I love. It's marketing, yes. Let's just call it what it is. But at the same time, it blesses people that you go, hey, this is part of the story. I bought this for you because I thought you would enjoy it. And so that's really part of the fun part of Christmas too. And I love that so much when it happens. So thank you for being a part of, I better put my glasses on and see if this is focused. It's not. There it is. Thanks, Laurie, for all right, so here it is. So this one is so I quit painting Christmas paintings for a while, except for one. I'm getting ready to show you. The last one. I did the last painting. This one is something different. And this is the unofficial first 2023, because it's less than a little, around about a week to go. But still, I wanted to do a toast. And so I wanted to do a toast to the new year. And I want to try and get this out, but I'm going to send it to somebody. And here it is. It's the first one. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to scroll up and down without looking. Here it is. Up and down like this, back and forth. I'm going to go back and forth again, all the way to the top. Yep, it rolls to the top, and then all the way to the bottom, and then back to the top, and then freelance, and I pull it like this, and then I look at the screen, choose 3 in a section, throw the top out, throw the bottom out, take the middle one, and here it is. Randall Taylor Craven, you're out at the top. Karen Bender out at the bottom. Kathy Shanley, you're in the middle. Kathy Shanley, right there it is. And the post is, you say, love my Fontanini. So it was at 9:12 when you posted. So I just scrolled back up. Didn't know where I was in the post. So Kathy, if you're still on the show, you send me, here's the painting that you just won right here. It's a little one on drawing paper. It's a little Routini. There it is, a New Year's Routini toast from 2023. And it really isn't 2023, but it's got 22 over here. But you know the point. I just talked to you about this is the first unofficial. So there it is. And it's a green martini. I don't know martinis from martinis or any other funny foony thing. So I'm a teetotaler, not because I think it's necessarily, I'm not against it if you do it responsibly. I just don't like the taste. That's why I'm drinking hot chocolate. I didn't need a cup of tea tonight. I'm amped up enough as it is. So, Kathy, if you will send me, Kathy, I'm going to put your name on this. Where's my pencil when you need it? Oh, here it is. Kathy, KathyShanley, Shanley, gift. If you'll send me an email at roodoodles@gmail.com, I'll send you this. Okay? So there's the 2. I'm going to put those over there with the auction that was won tonight. This one goes aside. Got 2 more things to show you, and then I'm out of here tonight. Okay? Here's my outline, believe it or not. Here is my last Christmas painting, and I'm going to auction it off probably later this week. And here it goes right here. It's a rolling pin. I did 2 rolling pins last year. I painted them. And this one is a Christmas rolling pin. And I didn't paint it this way. I painted it this way. So if you see it, you have to turn it to see the image. All right. So here it is right here. So take a look. And here it is. It starts with a Christmas tree. And there it is on the rolling pin. Let me go out a little bit so you can see the whole thing. This is a full-size rolling pin. It is hard rock maple. It's antique. It's out of Carol's collection. She has, she used to have 30-something. I don't know how many she has now. I keep painting on them and carving them into toothpicks. Just kidding. All right. So here we go. It's Kathy Shanley won, Kathy Dietz. So here it is. Here's the picture. This is a little peep hanging down. He's putting a star on top of the tree. There's the tree. It's in a bucket. I always draw. Here is a peep decorating from a ladder. See that? The peep's decorating from the ladder. Here is the mama coming around this way, and the mama is standing, of course, not under mistletoe, but this is a farm. I draw radishes, so she's hanging under radishes, but she has the rolling pin in her hand. There it is, with a bowl of dough, and there's a little peep under the table having some dough, chicken in the bread pan, picking out dough. Granted, it's your dog bite, no child no. And it says Christmas biscuits, and it's signed Roo Doodles 2022. So you'll be receiving it after the first of the year probably. So it'll have that on it. So there is the rolling pin. So if you could see, you can see me hold it up, give you an idea. So there's the tree. Hey, and I'm not going to oil it. I love the sound, and there it is. So there's the rolling pin. I will do a little video of it for the auction so you can see it rolling over like this. It's really kind of cool. Gives you an idea how big those images are. There's a pin right there, the tree. I could actually measure it. Well, it's a full-size rolling pin, though. So the tree is actually, from the star to the tree, 6.5, almost 7 inches, and then the rolling pin is 9. And tip to tail. So if you collect rolling pins, this is Hard Rock Maple. Here's what I'll do to finish it. I'll brighten up some of the colors a little bit more, and then I'm going to treat it with a, you won't be able to make biscuits with it. Come on, it's a collector's pin. So you will be able to, I'll seal it so people handle it. It'll be fine. Just don't put it in the dishwasher, okay? Because I painted it with watercolor, but I'm going to seal it. I'll seal the ends and seal the whole thing, and I've got to do that very painstakingly. So I've got a lot of time in this, and so I'm going to start the auction at not $875, but ready for this? 8057. Not 857, but 8057. And I'll start it in a couple of days, and I'll put it on there. So if you're interested, it's a collector's pin. That's where it's going to go. All right. So that's going to be it. Yeah, it was hard to do on a round surface. So, I mean, I'll show you how I did it. I literally beefed it up in the middle so it wouldn't touch. And then I have 2 little anvils on my desk right here. And I put one of them on either side so that it would stay locked in like this and not roll. And then I would dry and come back and repaint, and dry and come back and repaint. It's tough painting, but it was kind of fun. And so, love it, love it, love it. It's on the ladder, decorating the Christmas tree. Mom's making the biscuits, and there you go. So that's it. So that's going to put it over there safely. There's a little pocket down there that holds it. All right. And the squeaky noise comes with it too. All right. I had one more thing that Cam Lawson, the Grit magazine came in today, and so she bought a painting at the last auction that had the original Grit for this month. That came out. I'll post it tomorrow. Okay, so a bunch of friends had dinner with us last night, some dear, dear friends. And while we were having dinner, we asked them to answer some questions, but they wanted to know why our house had these little people all over the house. And so we told them that these were Fontanini, and that we set them up at Christmas all over our house. These people are in a little village. Mary Joseph are on a donkey coming through the hallway in the foyer. Now they're already close to the hearth, where in the next few days she'll move in. There's no baby in the manger. Of course not, right? You want to know how to not get invited to a Christmas party? When we lived in Florida, Carol and I created this Bethlehem Village thing that we used to do. It had 320 casts and 35 animals, 3 camels, and thousands. I mean, like literally the last year, I think 27,000 people came to see this event we did. And it was really fun, but hard work, and lots of amazing volunteers and cast. And but we had 3 acres sort of fenced in, real sheep and real chickens and all real animals. It was crazy. And but one of the things that we did was we didn't make a point to show anybody where the baby was, and so they sort of had to find the baby back in this little alcove of stone and structure. And so we would go to people's houses for Christmas parties. Then I was on staff at this church, and we would get invited to these Christmas parties, and we'd go, and the first thing we would do is we'd start looking around, and we'd find if they had a manger scene, a nativity in their house. And if they did, one of us, unbeknownst, when no one was looking, and we'd say, "Hey, you get it. I'll distract them over here, or I'll do something over here." When this happened, we would, if the baby was loose from the manger, we would hide the baby Jesus. We would steal the baby Jesus. I'm talking, we did this lots of times, more than a dozen, probably more than that in the 8 years we were there. We'd go to these several Christmas parties. And so one time, this little baby was just tiny, about the size of this sheep, and I put it in my jacket pocket, and I realized when I got home, I had the baby Jesus in my jacket pocket. And so I thought, I'm just going to keep it here. Well, we got a note from the hostess who said, the worst things happen. Somehow, maybe it was thrown out in the trash. This was a very special nativity. It came from somewhere, I don't remember, handmade in Italy or something. Anyway, I'm thinking, oh my gosh. And so I wrote this poem about where the baby had gone and all this stuff. And anyway, I delivered it like the day before Christmas. And I said, you still have to read the Christmas story in the morning and put the baby in the manger on Christmas morning like it's supposed to be. Come on. And so anyway, we started doing this thing. So Hide the Baby Jesus became a domain that I never really did, but I own it. I never did a website on it. And in fact, I got a call from a friend of mine in Johnson City, Tennessee one time, and he said, the city town council is in an uproar because the town had a nativity scene and someone stole the baby Jesus. Was it you? I said, no, I promise. But I would love to go to jail for stealing the baby Jesus out of a manger. And so anyway, it just makes me laugh. And so you ain't right. But if you don't want to go back to you just steal their baby Jesus. One time I took one and I hid it over in a basket up over the top of their cabinets because I could reach up there. And then I wrote this long poem about Moses and in the bulrushes. And they found it and called me and they go, you're crazy. And I go, no, you think about it. I'm teaching you something here. So last night we're having dinner with a couple and their children and also a guest. And Carol said, okay, as we have dessert, I want everybody to get up right now. We cleared the table, she and I, and she was bringing dessert in. She said, I want everybody to go, and somewhere in the house, I want you to find one of the nativity characters. And I want you to bring it back to the table. So these were several of the characters that came back to the table. And we went around and said, who are you, and what were you doing that night? And I'm telling you, we're talking from 13, from about 12 to 17 years old. The answers were mostly, and even the one gentleman took this one and he said, I think this little shepherd is you know exactly what he's doing. He sees the bright light and the angels have come to tell them that there's something going on. And so all these people, this one person said, I chose this person because I think he's giving away bread. And I think that people were hungry who came to town to be taxed. And she's telling the story, and she's probably 16. And we said, do you know what Bethlehem means? And she said, I don't think so. And we go, yeah, you do. Think about it. Bethlehem. It means house of bread. So think about that in this Christmas story. Jesus comes and is born in Bethlehem, the house of bread, and later in the Bible, he's called the bread of life. There's no coincidences in this great story. So I want to show you. So these, by the way, have now. So we said tonight when you get up from the table, after you tell your story about your person, we want you to take them and put them somewhere near our nativity that's near the fireplace. And by the way, Carol's not watching this, but I hid the baby Jesus, and I hid it real good. And she didn't know where it is. It's been a child or a grandchild the last few years. This year, when we set it up, they were all traveling, and we had just come home. So I hid the baby Jesus. I'll tell you where it is later, but not now. Okay. So there's a great way, Susie, for you to tell the story. Remember. And so just so you guys know, do you remember? Miller White Brand says, I remember when the baby Jesus comes up missing in Johnson City. Yes, I got a phone call from a friend of mine who lives in Bristol, Johnson City. He goes, did you do it? I go, I promise I wasn't there. See, I grew up in Knoxville. I'd come through Johnson City. Sometimes he'd go, you did it. I go, I didn't do it. So I actually wrote the town council a letter. They never responded, and I wanted them to publish it in the paper because they published this big long deal. And I wrote it hoping that we would get a back and forth, but it was just a funny thing. So, all right. So here's the deal. Use things like this to help children hear this story. And by the way, Carol's watching the Nativity story right now, which was recorded back in 2006. A beautiful story, the Nativity story. It's This really isn't a Bethlehem donkey because Bethlehem donkeys have a stripe here and here. It from their mane, it comes down, it goes to here, and then it goes down both shoulders. Is symmetrical. It's in the shape of a cross, and that's what they call the Bethlehem donkey, the donkey that carried Mary into Bethlehem, where she went to be taxed with Joseph. Here's the video that I want to show you. Here's how we do the nativity at our house, so you can see it. Merry Christmas to you. I'm going to play this. I'll come back on and just say goodbye one more time, but I want you to see this. Thank you for being on the show tonight. Blessings to you for coming aboard. And so here is our story of Hide the Baby Jesus. Carol started our Fontanini collection. They're all stored in this tub, and it's easy to let grandkids help you set up this whole scene at Christmas. All the townspeople are displayed all over the house, different places. Different rooms become homesteads and markets and shops, and townspeople set up wherever they want to, on top of tables, under lamps, on the arms of chairs, hidden away. It's a good thing they're not breakable. They're made out of polymer. Good thing for Joseph. Just pick him back up, and he and Mary are ready to go. They're in the far part of the house. They've got a long journey ahead. There's a blacksmith. There's a lot of shepherds and sheep, and there's some angels who appear to them over this marble entry table. There's some wise men, and of course they take their place in the far eastern part of the house. And there are more sheep. One of our favorites is this little shepherd holding a lamb, shielding his eyes from the bright light when the angels appear. Her name, of course, is Gloria, or that's what our son said when he was little. So Mary and Joseph begin this journey. They circle the room, and as they do, all the other townspeople, everyone, including the shepherds, they all start to move forward across the travertine and the hardwood and to this brick hearth where there's a little manger scene set up. It's made out of an orange crate. Notice there's no baby there. Well, it's not time. The wise men know that. They've seen the sign, but they're on a journey. Still no baby. We call it Hide the Baby Jesus. Someone in our house has been doing that for years. Now the grandkids are doing it. And then on Christmas morning, whoever hid the baby puts the baby in the manger and reads the Christmas story. And the light has come. And that's Christmas. Merry Christmas. Mark Long. Good to see you on there, my dear friend. Mark Long and I have told this story for a long time. So thank you for being a part of Roo-Doodles and letting me come into your homes spontaneously and every now and then to paint and goof off, tell stories. People ask me all the time, are you an artist that tells stories, or are you a storyteller that paints? And I go both. And so, but this story is really fun to tell. And this story is one of my favorites to bring to life with these little polymer people. And so maybe I'm giving you some ideas on how, regardless of how, if they're, maybe you have some made out of olive wood, maybe you have some made out of carved out of wood, whatever. Let your grandkids and your kids put their hands on them and say, if you were this, what would you be thinking? I'd be thinking it's cold out here. I'm afraid. Or I'd be thinking this. And let them tell their version of this. And then be ready to tell them the true version too, if you want to do that. So I get to share that with you this time of year. I'm blessed. The auction tonight was won before this started by whoops, I wrote it on the back and I can't remember. but it's there. And then the 2 giveaways, if y'all will send me emails, I'll probably have those. I'll respond to them. And have a blessed Christmas. I don't think I'm going to paint Christmas Eve. That's Saturday morning. I think I'm just going to hang out and get up late. And in fact, I'm not getting up late. I'm getting up at 4 a.m. to take someone to the airport who needs to fly to Washington State. And so, and then I'll be back here. So who knows? I may jump on and just paint some. But I've got all these little creatures to go put back and freshen up my hot chocolate. And I'll put this out in an auction just in the next few days. That's what I painted tonight. I think I'm going to paint a honeybee there. We'll see. That will come to fruition in the morning. I have a meeting to go to at 10 o'clock in the morning at our favorite French restaurant. We're having a meeting there. I challenge you this Christmas to draw something new, or to draw something light and quick and make a story out of it. I don't care if it's a bee. I don't care if it's a drawing paper. I don't care what it is. Just have some fun with it. Oh, there's another sheep. I knew I had one more up here. So look at that. That bee's as big as a sheep. Blessings to you all. Merry Christmas. Be a light somewhere this Christmas, because that is what it is about. And so there's the story of baby Jesus that we tell in our house all the time, but we certainly lean into it at Christmas. Thank you for hearing me out. Merry Christmas to you all, and blessings. May your new year be filled with health. I'll paint before the new year one more time, and I'll put out this tomorrow, and then maybe the next day I'll put out my rolling pin and let's leave it for a week or so. Christmas, I may not put, I just want you to know it's coming up to the first of the year. It'll be the first of the year before you get it anyway if you collect rolling pins. I sold 2 last year, and they're kind of fun to paint. It's just something different for me. And I got to go give Carol her penguin picture. That 2 penguins walking along, and one of them says, there's a fish on the ground over there. It says, you pick it up. I had the chips. So I am out of here, going out of focus he is, and like a herd of turtles. Blessings to y'all. Did I answer everything? Let's see. If you had any questions, Merry Christmas to y'all. Merry Christmas. We are blessed because of you. Well, that's very nice. Thank you for sharing the gospel with the world. Susie, got 2. Keeps the Wolverines from overrunning your land. No, we got to share that truth. Remember, I told you just have to be a light. Okay? All right. Love it so much. Blessings to you all. See you next, I'll see you before next year, I bet. Yeah, I'll see you a couple times before that. As a matter of fact, I may paint again on Good News Rue on Tuesday. Yeah, and we're still in John. We'll be painting through the Gospel of John. All right, I'm out of here. Blessings to you all. Wait a minute. I had to go out on a little musical note tonight. I wish I could play something Christmas.